Good, good. How you doing?
We were just talking to Bobby. I know he's a guy you became close to early in your career.
What was your reaction when you found out this spring he was coming back here?
I was just very excited. One, he's a familiar face that has been here for a long time, and just his energy, his presence, just him being a professional, being the professional that he is. I mean, he was just happy to have him back, and just somebody I can look up to, and somebody who I know will keep me accountable. So, just all those things just in one. But mainly, I was just excited.
Did a year away change him at all?
Sir.
Did a year away change him at all?
No, no. I mean, shit. He came back more playful, if you ask me.
DK, what's the expectations for you guys as an offense? For you and the guys in the room with Jackson coming in, the running back group that you have. What are your expectations for the offense?
I mean, just to be the best in the world. I mean, that's always everybody's goal at the beginning of a season. And then, we work back from there. But just starting out, just trying to be the best offense, running, passing the ball, being the best efficient offense, and just putting up the most points. I think that's the best way I can describe it. But, with the key additions that we had with Jackson and I think Zach, at the end of the day, I think we have that goal to be attained, at the end of the season. So just out there practicing every day, going against the defense. I mean, you can see that we're going to be an explosive offense, and then the defense is definitely challenging us every day. So, we're going to be firing on all cylinders.
What have you thought of Jackson getting back as quickly as he has from the wrist surgery?
I mean, it just shows his commitment, and I knew he was always going to play week one, just from talking to him, around the locker room. But he's always a competitive dude who always wants to be out there on the field competing. I know he hated just watching practice, the few days that he had to sit out. So just good to have him back. But I think, his mindset is perfect, for coming back and playing week one.
If he has success out there, how much easier does that make yours and Tyler's job out there? Obviously not necessarily having to worry about double teams.
Right. I mean, he's going to have success, just about the type of person that he is. He's an automatic baller, automatic, natural football player, natural pass catcher. But teams are going to have to pick their poison if they're going to play man against us, or they're going to crowd the box and try to, tackle Ken Walker and Zach and DJ all day. So I think, we got all the weapons on offense. It's just, up to us if we're going to use them right.
How does the skill set, how does the strengths of his game, how do they truly complement? You guys were a top 10 offense last year, but how does his game specifically help this passing game get to that next level?
Right. Like I said, man, he's a natural pass catcher, natural route runner. I mean, you've seen that at Ohio State. But, just his competitive edge, I think, is going to be what separates him from everybody else, and, what makes him fit well with me and Tyler. He's going to get open automatically, and then he's going to catch the ball, and he's going to try to score every time he catches the ball. So that alone is what it's going to make him, a great player in this league, and what's going to complement me and Tyler.
Tyler was named captain for the second year in a row. Have you seen him kind of grow into that leadership role that maybe he didn't need to take on early in his career?
I don't think he's grown since I've been here, but Tyler's been the same person. He's been the same, big brother to me, just like Bobby has been, and, just a person that I can always talk to and lean on and depend on. But, last year he really started stepping up and using his voice and being, a very encouraging leader, and, giving pregame speeches. It got all the guys, ready to play. So, I mean, it just speaks to the volumes of the type of person that he is, and, he's always going to go out there and make plays and, score on Sunday. So, I mean, it's just adding to his resume of the type of person that he is.
What do you remember about playing against Bobby last year?
He was talking a lot of stuff. Yeah, but, he had to come back to the winning team, obviously. But, I mean, just playing against him, in a game versus in practice, I mean, it just showed how intelligent he was, and he hasn't lost a step, ever since I've been here. So I'm just glad to have him back on our team, I'll tell you that.
He said much to you guys, or to you, about his time in LA?
Yeah, he speaks on it.
You know, really?
Yeah, I mean, you got to ask him next week. I can't tell you what we talk about.
Summer, you starred in your first movie. You continue to do a lot of ventures. What was it like being in the script commercial this year, and how did that even come about?
Well, I took a trip to Cannes, France, for the NFL. They had a pop-up out there, and I spoke, around the event that I was at. And there, the NFL asked me to do the scripted commercial and kind of put it on my radar. And you know, I was excited to do it. I'm always excited to, you know, try new acting things and just trying to get my foot in the door there. So it was a great experience just being on set. All of us weren't on set at the same time. Like we had, you know, different people, and everybody had a stand-in. But I mean, it was just a different experience and just a different part of me that I'm trying to open up and just, you know, trying to communicate better and just work on just being a more open person and learning how to talk about, you know, my emotions and, you know, learn how to talk about and speak freely in public and not just, you know, being a shell all the time. So it was a great experience overall, but, you know, looking forward to doing more, you know, with the NFL and more with acting.
Speaking of that, you also went on Bloomberg this summer. You talked about Kenneth Walker and some of the other guys that you've taken under the wing. You got a new rookie class. Has there been anybody that you've taken a liking to that you've been giving your information about business and just, you know, how to be a professional?
Yes, sir. I would say me and Ken we talk every day. I mean, and his locker's beside mine. So, and Jackson just moved 2 lockers down from me. So starting to talk to Jackson more and more. But I don't try to force myself into, you know, a rookie's life. If they, you know, come to me and ask questions and, you know, are curious about things, then I'll start talking to them. But one that really 2 people that stick out to me, Jake Bobo and Matt Landers, are 2 people that I really try to, you know, I'm asking Bobo questions because it looks like he's open every play, and I'm asking him how he does it after he ran a 4.9. But Jake Bobo and Matt Landers are 2 people that are on my radar and should be on y'all's.
How surprised were you to see in OTAs and then early in training camp the way that Bobo was able to get open, as you mentioned, the speed stuff, and how does that really paint a picture that speed isn't everything?
Right. At a position where I thought, you know, speed kills or, you know, speed wins everything. I mean, I wasn't here the whole OTA, so I would pull up my iPad and watch, you know, some of the competition periods or 7-on-7. And I just seen this white kid getting open every play. Like, I called up to Tyler. I'm like, who is this? Who is number 19? He said, oh, this Bobo, man. He's a tall receiver. I was like, okay. And then I got up here and I seen the way he ran routes and the way he practices. He practices harder than me. Like, he's more detailed than I ever will be. And I use that as motivation to practice harder and make sure I'm honing in on more details because he's doing all the little things right. And, you know, he's reaping the benefits of it because he's very consistent every time he lines up on the field. You have to know where 19 is. That's just what I'm going to say off the rip. And, you know, just me just watching him, I'm very curious on, you know, how he gets open every time. So I asked him about a skip release, or I asked him about what he see here or what he see there. So, I mean, he's just a unique player, in my opinion, who's going to make a lot of noise.
Do you have any different expectations or goals for yourself this year, kind of just, you know, kind of into
No, sir, man. I mean, I'm just trying to come in here, just be the best player that I can be, best person that I can be, best teammate, and, you know, do whatever it takes to win every day and have a consistent attitude and a consistent mindset.
How do you think Gino's going to be better this year with a year of staring at him stuff?
I mean, just a whole year of wisdom in this offense, playing, you know, with pretty much the same offense that we had last year. You know, you're not going to make some of the same, you know, mistakes. I'm not going to make some of the same mistakes I made. You know, Tyler, everybody on the offense is just going to be a year wiser, a year older. And, you know, our communication has gotten a lot better. From Shane to Gino, Gino to me to Shane, everybody around the offense just communicates better. So I think just our communication took a step forward. And, you know, it's going to help us a lot on the field. And, you know, when we go to away games or play at home or, you know, if some adversity hits, we're not going to blink. We're just going to keep going.
The guys that you would consider to be really elite and high-level competitors, what are some of the characteristics that you see that allow you to come to that conclusion with those guys?
Consistency. Like Bobby every morning is going to be here at 6:30, and he's going to always work out. He's going to always get his massages, going to always, you know, be the same person and never waver. So I think consistency is a big part of being, you know, great and being an ultimate competitor in this league.
Are you going natural hair color this year?
I'm going to see, man. I haven't decided. I probably am going to decide Friday or Saturday.
What makes Tyler Lockett so prolific in the red zone?
He never stops moving. Tyler Lockett is always going to continue to move, and he knows, you know, everybody else's job, which makes his job easier. If a play breaks down in the red zone, he always has his second move always in his back pocket of what he's going to do. So, I mean, he just has a foresight. Like, he knows what's going to happen before the defense does. So I think that's what makes him or separates him in the red zone.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.